When you think about the company Caterham, you think about stripped back to basics, well, kit cars. And in fact, I had my first experience of driving my very own Caterham this year. And you guys loved that video because you literally saw in real time me fall in love with just how it was all about pure driving pleasure. Not about screens and technology, but just about you and the car. Something which is very different to that concept is electrification. And it wasn't something you used to think about when you thought about Caterham. Well, until now. Introducing the Project V. This is a very special concept car by Caterham, which gives us a glimpse into their future of going electric. In today's video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know and whether I think this is a true Caterham. So if that sounds good, then please keep watching. And if you like new car reviews and car content, then you know what to do. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Despite being very different to the 7 that we're used to seeing from Caterham, there are some elements which have drawn inspiration from the icon. The mouth is the shape of the 7 grille, the swage lines converging on the door are to evoke the 7's door aperture, and the flat rear panel references the simple rear of the 7 too. This isn't actually the first time that I'm seeing this car. I did also get to see it at Goodwood this summer, and it really drew a lot of attention. I mean, look at it. It's absolutely stunning, and it looks even more beautiful in the studio today. This colour is fantastic. So this is actually called Ice Forest Green, and it looks amazing under these studio lights, but also looks fantastic in the daylight as well. And it really helps finish off all the simple curves of the Caterham Project V. You've also got some contrasting black alloy wheels, and you've got those smattering of black gloss along the bottom and on the wing mirrors. You can tell that this car has been focused on its aerodynamics, because if you look at it, you can almost vision the air gliding over the top of it. Of course, being a coupe, it gives it a really sporty look. And this, to me, is just very elegant, very simple, but also very interesting as well. The Project V uses a 200 kilowatt motor on the rear axle and pairs it together with a 55 kilowatt hour battery. The 0 to 62 time takes 4.5 seconds before a top speed of 143 miles per hour. The Caterham engineers have targeted a WLTP claimed range of 249 miles. Charging from 20 to 80% should take around 15 minutes provided you have a 150 kilowatt charger. So there's a few things that I mentioned in the intro which have always been at the core of Caterham. Some of those things are lightweight and back to basics as well. Of course, when it comes back to basics and electric cars, well, they don't really mix because there is a lot of technology that goes into being electric. But let's talk about lightweight, because that is something that Caterham has stuck at being super important when it comes to this project car. This is a fully electric vehicle with a 55 kilowatt hour battery, but it weighs just over 1.1 tons. That's around the same as a Ford Fiesta. In fact, it's the third of the weight of a BMW XM. And they have said that this is so important to them for so many reasons. You've got driving agility. It's going to mean the car is lightweight. It's going to handle just as a Caterham should handle. Its lightweight has been made possible thanks to a carbon fibre and aluminium composite chassis and composite body panels. The steering itself is electrically assisted. The suspension is double wishbone and fully adjustable front and rear. And the wheels are 19 inches at the front and 20s at the back. You guys know that I'm really lucky that I get to test out a lot of concept vehicles. And the funny thing with concept vehicles is they spend a lot of their time being prodded and poked. Now, of course, Caterham have probably been very, very careful with who they've let touch and prod around with this vehicle. But despite that, it still feels so high quality. And this is something that they focused on. Despite this being a concept car, this is something that they want to bring into production. And you can tell that from the fit and finish, that this is a product that they really want to show off and show people what the future of Caterham could look like. And I'm really pleased about this because it's absolutely fantastic. I love the little elements of the steering wheel. One of the best things about Caterhams is that driving engagement, the fact that they feel like a little go-kart, and this really small steering wheel gives you that feel. It also has a modern twist of these dials, and you've also got the touchscreen, but it also has a retro feel as well. They're retro style dials, and also the focus isn't on a massive touchscreen. The screen is kind of like an afterthought. What it's really all about is the design and feel of this vehicle, and I think it looks fantastic. You've got a mix of the really soft suede that you have across the dashboard and also on the seats. You've also got a similar sense, these really cool... Oh, I didn't know that was going to do that. I also really love these metal switches as well, which are very similar to the ones that you get in the classic Caterhams. And just below it, you'll see that it does have physical climate control dials as well. Caterham must be poking fun at the rest of the car industry, because where everything else is being stripped back and they're taken away, they've kept a very basic car which is focused on driving ability, but they still have been able to put in physical climate control dials.
So in such a low-slung compact car, where have they packaged the batteries? Well, rather than stuffing the batteries directly under the cabin, lowering the centre of gravity but raising the driving position, Caterham have instead split the battery into two locations, one behind the passenger compartment and the other below the legs of the occupants. That means your backside will be as close to the floor as it would be in any other sports car, only your feet will be slightly raised, similar to a driving position in a single-seater.
As you can see, it does actually have a back seat, though there's not very much space back here. The plans are to have it in a configuration of a 2-1 or a 2-2, but don't think that you're going to be putting adults in the back because it really is tiny. But there is a big reason why my stepdad has recently gone from having a Mazda MX-5 to having a Audi TT, and that's because it has got back seats, which means he can take the dog. And I guess that's how you have to look at the back seats in this car. They're not really for the practicality of carrying 3 or 4 adults, but they're to be able to take small children or dogs and just have that practicality of having the extra space.
So how much are we actually talking about then? Well, Caterham is targeting a rather pricey £80,000, with a potential release in 2025 or 2026. So far, the only competition on the horizon is the up-and-coming electric Porsche Cayman and Boxster, which are only 2-seaters, and potentially an Alpine A110 EV, which is still a long way off.
I feel extremely lucky to have been able to get hands-on with the Project V. This really does give us a glimpse into the future of Caterham and how exciting. The wonderful news is they haven't said that this is replacing their standard vehicles. It's going to run alongside it. It's going to bring in a new type of customer, whilst already giving their existing customers a dip into electrification. But let me know, what do you think of the Project V? Pop it in the comments down below. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, go ahead, give it a massive thumbs up. And if you want to see more, then you know what to do. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, guys. See you later.